Today I have a very, very special Steinway B. This piano actually comes from 1897, and it's such a beautiful piano. As you can obviously tell, we've got all of this wonderful painting, the super cool wood that it's made of. We have this beautiful music desk. The inside of the piano is beautiful as well, and I'll take you around and show you all of that a bit later in the video. But first I wanted to tell you a little bit about this particular piano. Now, Steinway has been known to do very ornate art cases for a very long time, and this piano, what's really cool about it is the artwork on this piano was actually hand-painted by the legendary Arthur Blackmore, who at the time was the head artist at Tiffany's, which is just absolutely amazing to me, that this piano still exists and that all of this artwork is still here. It's so, so cool to me. And once again, I'll take you around and show you all the close-ups. The artwork goes all the way around the outside of the piano. It's on the lid, as you can see here. It's on the fall board, on the music desk. There's not much on the inside, but the inside is very, very cool looking as well. Now, what the folks here at the store have done is they've rejuvenated the exterior of the piano, and they've made it look really pretty once again. And the inside of the piano has been rebuilt as well. The harp has been resprayed. It's possible that the soundboard has also been replaced, and all of the hammers, the action parts, and the dampers are also brand new as well. This piano sounds absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait to give you a sound demonstration of it. So I'm going to play a quick little demonstration of it. It's my own little song that I wrote, and let's hear what it sounds like on this 1897 Steinway B. This piano has a very warm and mellow sound. What I think is really cool about it is the piano has excellent sustain. Check this out up here in the treble. I think the sound's gone by about now, but it lasts for a very, very long time. And also what's interesting is the dampers actually end here at this E. I believe in modern Steinways, the dampers in the treble will go all the way up to, I think, either this G or this G sharp, and then they stop. But at this point, the dampers had only ended at this E, which is kind of cool. So now let's show you the inside of the piano, because it really is a work of art, and then I'll also take you around the outside of the piano and show you the real art on the outside. So here is the inside of this beautiful piano from the 1890s. If you look on the top of the harp here, we can see various stamps showing different patents that Steinway has received. We've got one for the repetition action, which was received in 1875, one for the capo di astro bar, which was in 1875 as well, and then one for the duplex scale patent, which was in 1872. So Steinway was definitely one of the biggest innovators in the piano industry, and they basically invented all of these things that are really still used in pianos to this very day. There's also a cool badge here for the Steinway foundry steel casting on this cross brace that I've never seen before on any other Steinway, and it's a pretty cool little detail there. On the inside, on the center of the soundboard as well, you can see a very fancy decal talking about the various royalty that have received custom commissioned pianos from Steinway, which would include the Queen of England, the Prince, as well as the Princess of Wales. So it's really, really cool. There's also a really fancy badge over here talking about Steinway & Sons overstrung scale, various patent dates for the overstrung scale, as well as the fact that this piano was made in New York. Steinway actually invented the idea of the bass strings being overstrung over the tenor strings, which is something that, again, has been used in pianos ever since, and it was really one of the greatest innovations in the piano industry. If we take a look at the rest of the inside of the piano, we can see that that wonderful blonde wood continues on the inside of the rim as well, and also the harp is, of course, the older style with the nubs around the portholes and lots of various text on the back of the harp. It's a very, very cool design, and I really wish that piano manufacturers did this more, but it's unfortunately not anything that's done today, which makes this design very special. An interesting note that you might find interesting is that the serial number on this piano is 87023, which seems to be a very, very low serial number, as you would expect. And that's just kind of a cool little detail. As you can see, the piano has had new hammers, new strings, and new action parts as well. So it has been completely restored on the inside. And once again, there's that super cool logo in the middle. And a close-up of the other one there. I like that one. That one looks super cool. So here, let's take a closer look at this music desk, because this is honestly the most beautiful music desk on any piano that I can ever think of seeing. We have all of this really cool artwork here with this wreath of flowers and these really cool, delicate, flowery designs coming off the side. These are like roses with these little ribbons and stuff. And we also have these beautiful hand carvings as well. We've got the flower design with the ornate, like leafy pattern. We've got Greek columns here on the side. And of course, all of this would have been hand done at the time, which is absolutely incredible. Today, if someone wanted to do something like this, we'd just use a CNC machine, but back in the day it was all hand done, and it's absolutely perfect, which is so cool to me. I almost wish that piano companies did something like this delicate, because I think a CNC machine could do something like that for much cheaper than a real artist could today, but unfortunately no one really does that. It's such a cool design, and it's absolutely wonderful to see. But of course the fact that no one does anything like this today makes it even more special, so that's what's really cool about it. So here we can see the wreath in the middle. It's really, really delicately painted as well. There's all the petals and the little leaves and stuff. They're so tiny. It's absolutely incredible. And the detail and the shading on the ribbons is absolutely incredible as well. You can see why Arthur Blackmore was the head artist at Tiffany's, because he does absolutely amazing work. It's so cool. Really, really neat. This wreath of flowers honestly looks so real that you could almost touch them, honestly. The detail and the delicacy of them is just absolutely incredible. One thing that's kind of cool about this piano is the Steinway & Sons logo on the middle is not your standard Steinway logo. As you can see, this also was hand-painted with this really cool circular logo. It says Steinway & Sons, London, New York, and also Hamburg. And we also have the same basic pattern of the flowers and the ribbons. It's slightly different than before, but it's the same basic theme, and it looks so cool. Look at that flower there. It just looks so amazing. And what's also cool is when the fallboard is closed, even more designs. On the top we have a guitar and some sort of a trumpet with a little music book behind it, which is really cool. Maybe you can even read the music. Not quite, but I do see a couple 16th notes on there. That's some really impressive detail, to be honest with you. And then also up here is more of the leafy designs, very similar to what was on the music desk. It's so cool. And of course, the wood grain on this piano is beautiful. If this piano just had that wood grain and no artwork, I would still be really impressed with the way it looks, because the wood alone is just absolutely beautiful. Another thing that's really cool about this piano is, of course, since it's from 1897, it would have come with ivory keys, and these are still the original ivory keys. And as you can see, if we look here at the tips, they're absolutely perfect. There's absolutely no chips, no dents, or anything in there at all. Usually in ivory key pianos, you'll see little chips and things like that, but this one is in really, really good shape. If we go all the way down to the end of the piano, you'll see there's absolutely nothing major at all. And what's also cool is that the ivories are two-piece, and you can kind of see the little line there where the ivories are two-piece. Another thing that's really cool about this piano is there's actually gold leaf all over the piano. If you look down here, this little bit of trim piece here is actually gold leaf paint, and it runs all the way down the length of the piano, which I think is really, really cool. And you can see examples of that as well on other parts of the piano, like the legs, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But it's amazing that they actually put gold leaf paint on this piano, because that's just really, really cool. Here we are down at the legs, and we can see once again we've got these absolutely wonderful flower designs, as well as these really cool hand carvings once again with the leaf and the spiral design. And once again on the inside here we have more gold leaf paint, and it's a really, really cool touch. And also on the I guess you could call these fluted columns, we have more of this gold leaf paint inside of the little grooves there, and then down at the bottom is more flowers. That one looks like maybe a lily or something of some kind, and the legs, the feet down here are just big and square, and there is a caster under there. It's just completely hidden by the way the bottom of the leg flares out, which is kind of interesting. And there's more cool designs up here on the side, which I will get to in a minute because they're super cool, and I'm just going to save them until the very end because they're amazing. And once again, that looks like more gold leaf paint with flower designs on the middle of it there. Really, really awesome. Of course, all three legs have this wonderful design here with the gold leaf and the fluted columns and the flowers, but what I wanted to talk about as well is the lyre, which once again has that same exact pattern, and it's just, the detail they put into the lyre is absolutely amazing. Even the support beams on the back have some fancy carvings on them with some gold leaf as accents, which is just so cool. They put attention into every small little detail. There's even small little versions of those same flowers that are on the legs on the lyre, and the aesthetic of the lyre matches that of the legs. It's just really, really cool. Now, of course, down here we have 3 pedals, which is pretty standard for pianos. Around this time, they would have been transitioning to having 3 pedals on the pianos rather than 2. And if we take a look down here at the pedal, we can see a really, really tiny stamp, which is right there, talking about the patents that this piano has received. Patent date, can't quite read it, but the end there, I think it says 1885, which I've never seen before on a piano, a little tiny patent date on the pedals. And I'm not sure what that patent date would have been for, if it would have been for the pedal design or the lyre design or what, because it basically, aside from the decorations, it looks like your standard piano lyre. But I just thought I'd point that out because it's really, really interesting that there's a tiny little stance decal on the piano. It either says 1885 or 95. I think it says 85. I just thought you guys might find that kind of neat. This is the top of the lid of the piano. This is the section that folds over when you close the lid of the piano. And once again, we have more beautiful artwork as well as more beautiful wood. The grain in this section of this piano is just absolutely wonderful. I love how it stands out in the light. And the artwork, once again, is really, really awesome. The flower designs, we have different flowers, it looks like, on this point. I haven't seen this design on any other part of the piano. This, of course, we've seen before, and we have more roses. We've got a pink one and a yellow one there in the middle. More cool designs. And, of course, that continues all the way up to the top of the piano as well. Another neat feature that I thought was really cool about this piano is the way they have hidden the screws in a way. Now, the screws, of course, are an essential part of the piano, but they're also a relatively ugly part. So what they've done is they've actually painted flowers around each screw, with the center of the flower being the screw, which I thought was a really, really cool idea. And of course, I've never seen anything like that before because I've never seen one of these pianos before, but it was just a really cool way to kind of hide these screws that, like I've said, are not the most attractive part of a piano. They turned them into part of the design of the art. Another neat thing that's pretty neat about this piano is it has a locking mechanism here for the lid so that somebody can't open it, which is pretty cool. Now let's take a look at one of my favorite pieces of artwork on the piano, which is the artwork on the lid. And as you can see here, there is a signature from none other than Arthur E. Blackmore himself. And as you can see, the date there on the right-hand side is 1897. So this artwork definitely was done by Arthur Blackmore in 1897. Let's zoom out here and take a closer look at the artwork as a whole. It's a really cool scene. It shows 2 ladies over here on the beach with a swan and a lute by a river with some sheep and some beautiful trees in the background. It's a really, really cool piece of artwork, and I love it. Now, one thing I want to point out is that if you look here, particularly at the people themselves, there are some cracks in the artwork as well as back here in the sky. And what the people at the store here have done is they've taken efforts to rejuvenate the artwork, but not to completely redo it, which is why there still are cracks, which I think is pretty cool because they've left it original. They didn't hire someone to redo it completely. They've just simply made the colors more vibrant and the wood better looking, but they've kept the artwork exactly the same. We can take a closer look at the lute. Kind of cool. I just love the detail that goes into this. It's absolutely amazing. Painting is it's a pretty magical art form, and it's absolutely amazing. There's the swan. He kind of looks angry, to be honest with you. We've got some sheep over here. Zoom out a little bit more. So that's just one of my favorite pieces of art on the piano, which is this wonderful picture here on the lid. Super, super cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's take a look at the artwork that you can find on the rim of the piano, because that is also really amazing. One of my other favorite pieces of artwork on the piano is basically the entire piano itself, because all the way around the rim of the piano is this really cool artwork depicting various famous composers of the time. So this one here we have Mozart, and as you can see we've got the cool portrait of himself, and then also we have his name down below. And if we continue down here in the center of the spine of the piano, we have more artwork depicting 2 women playing some sort of an instrument. I'm not sure what that is. It kind of looks like a lute, but more triangular shaped. If you know what that is, let me know. I'd be kind of interested. Again, it's a really cool artwork, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. Really cool. And then if we head down here, we have Schumann. And we have artwork of himself and then also his name. Now I believe on the back of the piano where it curves around there's more, and I'm going to check that in a second. Let's go over there and see if there is. Let's see what's on the back of the piano. So this is what's on the back of the piano. As you can see here, it's more artwork depicting a man playing a piccolo or a recorder of some sort, and then also two women sitting, one's reading a book and one is enjoying the performance. More really cool artwork on the back of the piano. I'd be able to show it better, but the piano is up against a wall, and so it's a little bit hard to see, but I just thought I'd show you that because it's really awesome. On the curved side of the rim of the piano, we have a picture depicting Haydn over here. And then if we look here, we have yet another really cool mural showing a guy sitting playing, he looks like he's tuning some sort of an instrument. Again, I'm not sure what that is. It looks very odd. If you guys know what that one is, also let me know. Some kind of ancient stringed instrument. It looks like a hybrid between a violin and a guitar, kind of. Very odd headstock there as well. We have a person sitting here doing something, touching his arm, and then this lady over here is picking flowers by the waterside. Really cool artwork. And then if we come around to the side of the piano, which is going to be right down there. Now we're here at the side of the piano again. I just didn't want to crawl with the camera because that would have been kind of odd. But here we can see a picture here of Handel on the side of the piano where normally you would have a badge of the Steinway logo. So instead of a Steinway badge, you have a picture of Handel, which is really cool. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video about this absolutely stunning piano. In all the years that I've been traveling the nation looking at really amazing, unique, unusual pianos, I have never seen anything like this before. It's such a complete work of art, but what's really cool about it to me is not only is it beautiful, but it's also a completely playable piano. So if you were to buy something like this piano and put it in your home, not only could you marvel at its beauty, but you could also play it and use it as an instrument like it was intended to be used. It's really, really amazing. Of course, it's a Steinway B, so it has a really wonderful sound to it as well. The bass on the piano sounds great, as I pointed out earlier. The treble of the piano has really great sustain, and all around it just has a really nice mellow sound that could be refined and made even better if you really wanted to. But as it sits right now, it is a completely playable, fully functioning, working piano from 1897 with beautiful artwork from Tiffany, which I think is so amazing. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video of this wonderful, almost one-of-a-kind piano. You don't see many of these around at all. I've got lots of videos on my channel about pianos if you want to go check that stuff out. Concert grands and small uprights and everything in between. Nothing quite as beautiful as this, but I have lots of really cool pianos, videos about pianos, and you can go check that out if you want. And if you want to, you might want to think about subscribing, and if you do that, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.